episode of The Spirited Journey. I hope you're all well and safe out there today. Today I want to talk about collectible whiskey. Yes, collectible whiskey. Because whiskey is a massive trade. You know, there's massive collections out there going for millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds. You know, we have, the big ones, Macallan, and the ones that, people will never collect, like bells and stuff like that. So people that are gonna look into whiskies, that are ones that will probably never be collectibles, let's have a talk about them today, because there will be ones that will be never collectible really. You know, ones that you probably never get more than, what the actual whiskey is worth. Say, you buy the whiskey, buy that one, leave it 40 years. Yeah, it may appreciate in value, but it's not going to be worth the £2,000 or £3,000. Might make a couple of hundred because of inflation and everything else, but it's still a kind of investment, the way to look at it. But your brands I've never known anybody to make money on is, bells, teachers, the mass produced, like famous grouse, the mixers, the ones that are never gonna, unless it's something really exponentially rare that they do, something for an anniversary, maybe like the 200th anniversary of famous grouse. You may get the odd particular one, but generally you ain't gonna make nothing really for them. And it's not to say that you should go silly on it and go out and buy all the Macallans in the world and go, and you've got people that will go and buy a box of Macallan and got a spreadsheet going, oh, this is going to make me so much over this time and everything else. What's the fun in that? I don't mean it horribly, but where's the fun? You're looking at it as if it's a spreadsheet full of data. It's going to make me this much going up this many years, and you've got, where's the fun in collecting? Where's the fun and the passion behind it? The fun and the passion of going out to, down south or up north or wherever you are, going somewhere different, going into an artisan shop, finding a bottle that you have never found before, and going, oh, I really fancy that one, and going, oh, I'll have that, thank you very much, and you've got your whiskies out there that are very, very collectible, don't get it wrong, like Macallan. They have a tremendous marketing department, shall we say. I was one of the people that entered the Philo competition to win one of the Philos. I won number 5. And it's one of the only Macallans I have in my collection. And probably will be the only Macallan I probably ever have in my collection, because all I ever tend to see on the auctions is Macallan. And that's great, I understand that, there is this big hype behind Macallan, and they've got a really good and substantial marketing department, and they've done really, really well. But that doesn't really interest me as what I like to collect. personally. It sounds really silly. But I like something that's different, something that's unusual. As me as a personal collector, what I'm interested in collecting, beyond the stuff that I'm hoping will make some money in time, you know, or just stuff I've added to my collection that I will one day pass down to my kids. Or, as you do, you flip a bottle now and again. Buy that, you know, I'll trade you this one for you trading me them two, or, you know, I'll trade you this one for you trading me that one. Which you do. Or you send a couple to auction every now and again. But don't let it ruin your fun and your enjoyment of collecting whiskey. At the end of the day, a bottle of whiskey is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. It's like anything in the world. It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay. You know, I could go down 10 years down the line and somebody come up to me and go, I want that bottle. I'll give you £1,000 for it. Done. You know? I could go 10 years down the line and go, I'll give you £5 for it. And I'd be like, no, I'm alright. I'll just open it up and I'll enjoy the whiskey. Because I've lost nothing then. I've got a great whiskey from another time. Because that's the way the whiskey is supposed to be done. It's supposed to be open and enjoyed. These are three are open. These are three of my whiskies that I'll open and enjoying. Because I like them for different reasons and different times and different moods I'm in. Highland Park isn't my favourite at times, nor Smokehead and nor Spoon of Harbin, depending on what mood I'm in. But don't go out buying cases upon cases upon cases and looking at it as if it's a graph or a pie chart and going, oh, it's making me this much a month, or it's making me this much. Because whiskey runs as a boom and a bust industry. At the minute, whiskey is in a massive, 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 massive boom. You know, the whiskey industry is growing like a weed. It's fantastic. But at some point, like the housing market, it will go bust. It will pop. And you could be stuck with a lot of bottles that you're not interested in collecting, or have no enjoyment for you to collect, or you have no enjoyment of drinking, and going, now what do I do? And then if you try and sell them, you've lost. You could lose thousands. So you've got to be prepared, you know, to go, I ain't bothered, and open it. Any of my bottles in my collection, I will quite happily go, you know what, let's open it and let's have a taste. Let's find out and explore. Let's go on a journey. Let's have a look at what this whiskey is, you know. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day, is the whiskey, is the journey. Is from where you first started, your first ever whiskey. You know, I started from a great man, Ralphie, on his recommendations many years ago of Glenfiddich, and I've never looked back. And I can't thank Ralphie enough for that one. So Glenfiddich will always have a special place in my heart. Same as Ralphie, I know his is Spoon of Harbin. He can remember as a younger, going out and drinking Spoon of Harbin, having fun with his friends. So everybody has that one whiskey that is, special, that they look for or they admire, or have a special place in their heart for. And that's what it is about collecting. It's not just about making profit, making money, doing this, doing that, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying what you collect, being proud of what you collect. So don't look at it as investment. look at it as an adventure, look at it as fun, look at it as your journey, as something you develop as your journey. You know, yes, there's, you know, bottles from 1950s that are selling for stupid money, like the Freud 10, you know, sell for an absolute fortune. And they are going to be, no offence to any of these that are on the table, going to be far better than any of these at the moment, because whiskey back then, I find, was a lot better, a lot more to it. You know, no chill filtering, no colourants added. It was a pure product. It had whiskey integrity, which is what you needed, which is what should be done now. You know, it's, don't have this non-age statement stuff. It was all, you know, like Ardbeg Wee Beastie, 5-year-old, non-chilled filter, no colouring, that sold out in the UK. Absolutely sold out. Just been re-released now, so can be got hold of again, and I'm going to do a video of it. But I got mine from a shop I linked on my Facebook page. For people that couldn't get hold of it, or were like, oh, you know, having a panic. But that's part of the fun, is if you fancy a bottle or you can't get hold of one, is going and finding something that you can't find. I've had Big Pete RAF, and that was a big one for me to collect because of my granddad. You know, I ordered mine from France. I got it imported in from France, but I was speaking to the chap because my granddad was part of the RAF, and I wanted that bottle to honour my granddad, to honour his memory, to go, you know, he was part of the RAF, they donated money to the RAF, yes, you know, everything else, so that one is proud part of my collection. And I've got bottle number 36 on that one, and I've got a second bottle as well, which I was happy to pick up. And that to me, yeah, there again is, you know, I've got a wonderful, fantastic story behind it. It's not just, oh, I bought it and I've got a case full of it. I've got a story for it, about that whiskey from Douglas Lang. You know, there is another company that is non-chill filtered and no colouring added, that has whiskey integrity. There's a lot of things that I will be harking on about is whiskey integrity, and you'll probably get sick of me banging on about it. I'm sorry, but you know, chill filtering and taking the oils out and everything else ruins the whiskey, it ruins the flavour. And as a couple of my friends can attest to, of when I introduced them a couple of nights ago to Macmira and Highland Park and another one I had with me, the difference of chill filtering and non-chill filtering was really evident in the way that the flavour presented and developed. And that adds to my mind, the collectability and the speciality of the whiskey, that, you know, they've got enough to go, yeah, our whiskey can stand up to it, our whiskey can be presented to go, it is non-chill filtered, there is no colouring added, this is the whiskey, take it as it is. So you kind of find this useful if you want a more in-depth look at collectible whiskies. I will drag out a few of mine that are more collectible, per se, that are more interesting than these three, and we can take a look at them, of why I like them, why I liked them, and why I wanted to buy them, you know, and the story behind them, of what and why. So anyway, please all enjoy your time, stay safe, and stay safe on your journey. Goodbye.